Hello, Alex Rodriguez from Secure Ideas / Professional Evil, and this is another video on the Bash Trick series. And today's title is going to be Finding Help. And despite its name, we're not actually going to be using the find command. So, let's go ahead and dig into the code. Go to the weekly lessons, 02 help. Alright, so finding help. Prereqs is going to be the same as last time. Just make sure that you have the bash setup complete. The next thing is why we're going to be using or talking about finding help. And when you're unsure as to how you can run a command, one of the things that a lot of people recommend is using the man pages. And a special nuance in Bash is that there are actually some built-in commands to Bash that are re-implemented. So you might have an actual binary on file, or you could also have the command inherently inside of Bash. So we'll get into a few examples in a little bit, but being able to understand how those commands function is important. So we're going to get into a command that'll be able to help you with that. Understanding how some more advanced flags for commands is important once you start to actually dig into each individual command. And then lastly, it's cumbersome having to dig through all the different help pages and man pages and different ways to figure out how things are used. But there's actually going to be another video that I'll go ahead and try to show you some different ways as to make that a little bit easier. We're going to just kind of talk about some more of the built-in commands for Bash right now. So we're going to go ahead and go to the examples, and now we're going to go ahead and start showing off the commands. So here, and as you see, I've already got my environment provisioned by doing the vagrant up command from the bash setup video. So now we're going to do vagrant SSH to start off kind of the built-in bash commands scenario. One of the things that I had mentioned to you before is you can do PE-tab to show all the different aliases that I've created. One of the other things you can do is type in the word alias, and it'll show you all the different aliases that have been created for your current bash session. And so as you can see, there's the PE bash and PE cleanup commands that I had talked about creating before. So we're going to do PE bash and clear the screen. Now, to start it out, a lot of people talk about the man command. In this environment, we're not actually going to be able to use it because this is a container, so they try to strip down as much as possible, and I guess they stripped out all the different man pages as well to help make it smaller in size. But normally what that would look like is a big long, actually here, we can just do, we'll exit out of the container real quick. And we'll just do man bash. So it's got some different essentially titles or headers, and it goes into different types of flags. So as you can see, this is a lot, and to help with trying to understand the bash man page in particular a little bit better, we're gonna go back into the container, and it took me forever to find this command. I'm sure I had found it before, but finding it recently really made me happy because I was trying to go through a specific subcommand that's built in the bash called set, and I was essentially searching the whole bash man page, not realizing that you can use this command, which is just help. I was very frustrated whenever I found out about that. So whenever I did help set, it gave me all the subcommands that I was looking for. So the help flag is a built-in command to bash. So we're going to just do help to learn how to use help. So it displays information about built-in commands for bash. And then you can see the different options, arguments, and possible exit statuses. So once we've done that, another way that people have I found on Stack Overflow as to how you can find the path to a command is the which command. So we can do which bash, and it tells you the location of where a file is at. But if we do help which, we can see that which is actually not a built-in command. And this has actually been a particularly important topic for me since I do a lot of shell scripting. You try to use a lot of, or bash scripting. I corrected myself there because there's a sh and then there's a bash, which there are two different shells. So I just wanted to be clear. So whenever you're trying to do bash scripting or bash programming, you try to use as many built-in commands as possible, because that means that it'll be platform agnostic. So you can run it, as long as you have bash on a system, you can run your scripts because it has the built-in commands. So one of the things that is built into bash is command. And the command hyphen or tac v is a character sequence that I had actually gotten from a shell linter, which is called shell check, and we'll have probably a whole section specifically for shell check. But essentially they gave a recommendation of not using which because it's not built in, but use command hyphen v, which as you can see, actually I meant to do which, not help, sorry, there we go. It shows you the location for a file if it exists. So let's do the help page for command. And so as you can see, it says print a description of command similar to the type built in. Well, that's kind of interesting. I wonder why, and I'm asking this rhetorically, but I wonder why you don't just use type instead. And in my experience, which kind of formats things a little bit better. So if we do type which, you can see that it's kind of got a different type of formatting to where it might not be as easy to parse. So I've always used command tac v, and there are some nuances between which and command tac v, but that's a more advanced topic. But one of the nice things that while we're looking at the type command is, since it's another built-in, you can see from the description, it says displays information about command type. For each name indicates how it would be interpreted if used as a command name. So one thing that you can do inside of bash is declare functions, and the type command is particularly useful because you can identify when something is a function compared to when something is just an actual command. So as you saw before, the which is hashed, and then it's got the location of where the file path to the which binary is. Say we declare a function like this function over here that I've already got ready. And so if I just do testings, it just echoes hello because that's the function that I defined. But if I do which testings, I'm doing it again so that way you see that whenever I did the exclamation point, that it just brought down testings. You can see that which says that it doesn't exist. So how do you test if a function exists? Well, you can do command tech v, and that will let you know that the function is existing. But another thing that you can do as well is with the type command, it will actually show you the function and everything declared inside of the function. And so being able to understand how your bash shell is executing things is really important as you progress through learning about bash and the nuances and intricacies of it. I linked to some helpful resources for me inside the bash cookbook, and if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. But this has been Finding Help as week 3 in the Bash Tricks series. Thank you and have a good day.